one of the challenges for L&D people is they sometimes get so rooted in the operational activity and the delivery of learning that sometimes they can get disconnected from the things that actually will drive the business or accelerate. It's almost like a big gear in the process.
Yeah.
And I really encourage L&D teams to start sharpen their elbows and get much more involved in the skills discussion.
Yeah.
Not only from a point of view of how we understand what skills we have, but also what does it mean to take people on that journey from knowing to doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really important step.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And there's a sort of different skill set required within L&D to even sort of identify that.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it. I know the work the LPI are doing and the sort of capability map is sort of really driving that forward.
Yeah.
But what do you see as the sort of key skills that as an L&D person facing that challenge should be really focused on to help achieve that?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of business consulting skills and stakeholder management skills. In some ways, you could probably even call them challenger sales skills. I think if you haven't got some sales skills in any part of the business, then you're setting yourself up not to fail, but to be disadvantaged, because you need to be able to sell what you do, right? And we know what good sales is about: connecting with people's needs and giving them strong choices.
Yeah.
So once you get into that mindset, I think that really helps teams develop. But I think it's a lot more on the strategic consulting, thinking creatively about solutioning. So creating the right harmony of, let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's buy in the right content for that point in the journey. Let's accelerate ourselves. We didn't have to spend 8 weeks developing ourselves.
Yeah.
But think about then the trigger points that say, at this point, we're going to have this sort of practice. At this point, we're going to get this sort of feedback. This is how we create the continuity into business practice.
Yeah.
I think that's something that's going to get increasingly important. So what I'm saying is business consulting, business design skills, value planning, and solutioning. I think those are the things that really upfront matter. And I think in the past in digital learning, we've got quite hung up on the creation. But I think that's one thing that you might want to outsource more than develop internally, where you have the capability